Morning everyone, it's SJ here. So today I just wanted to talk to you about some organisation for when you're planning your follow-up and how to do it. And I'm just going to show you how I've started doing it. So I've had stuff electronically on the computer in an Excel spreadsheet, and yeah, like I'm struggling with that. And even if I put it into my calendar, it's like, it's really hard for me to keep on top of it. And I think I'm more pen and paper, and I know I speak to a lot of you and you say, yeah, I'm more pen and paper too, and I need a really good system. So I then went to actually I don't have it here, that was organisation. So I then went to a notebook and a pen, and I was writing all the names of everybody that I'm speaking to and connecting with, and what stage at that relationship we're at when people are inquiring about the programs that I'm doing. And again, it was really hard because I was having to go back to other previous pages and kind of keep on top of it and see who I was speaking to and making sure I can get it all fitted in a line. So now I thought back, I was like, you know, when you just like, why change a broken wheel when it's not broken? So I went back to when I was building quite a large business, actually twice when I did this, built large businesses, and it's really interesting because I've even found my old folder. Look, it's in gold, it's very special. And when I found my old folder, I actually found all my old leads and contacts were all still in the back of the folder. My other half calls me a hoarder. Sometimes it works, right? Sometimes you just need that stuff. So what I used to do and how I managed my follow-up and content and just connecting with people and keeping on top of it without the distractions of what's going on a computer screen. I'm pointing there because that's where my computer screen is. It's with these. So you can see it there. So this one is 1 to 12 on the dividers there. And then I've also got 1 to 31 as individuals too. And what I would do is I would create a big folder like this. I'd had a few of these actually, so it wasn't just one folder, but you start with one, you just start small things. Hey Alex, good to have you on here. Oh, I know you're going to have this set up unless you've got a really good system in place already. So yeah, so I've got 1 to 12. Now these represent the months of the year. And so we're obviously in September already, so I'm going to skip ahead to September. I'm going to take 1 to 8, so January to August I'm going to chuck out, and I'm going to pop that at the back of the folder. So that goes in here at the back. What I'm also going to put in there is some blank sheets. So what I've done is I've printed out a contact sheet that I'm going to use, and I want some blank ones right at the back so I can go and access them really easy. Now you are going to play around with your contact sheet. So for me it's just got name, telephone number, address is really good. Like I'm a big believer in sending samples out to people as well. So address, their Facebook, their Instagram, their Snapchat, their Twitter, and then I've put some little reminders of things that I want to have conversations with people about. Now I'm talking conversations that can be online via Messenger, and it also can be on the phone. So I'm like, be curious, always be curious about the other person, then look for where you can build the bridge. Share tools and add to a group. So I've got little tick boxes here for me to be able to do that, and then remember to follow up. Always smile and find out where they're from, and remember the feel, felt, found. Now on here, I can't get rid of these blue lines. I will get rid of them, but it doesn't matter. So on this side, I would just put the date that I've connected with them, and then I've got comments written over here so I can fill in some detail. So I'm going to put these blank sheets as well right at the back. I've got loads of them. Whatever your goal is, remember, if you can reverse engineer your goal, you can literally print out the amount of contact sheets that you need, because then you know how close you are to your goal. We used to do it with matchsticks and all kinds of things, but this was the best way, because if you've got a giant goal and you've got a giant pile of blank sheets, you know you need to connect with people and fill those sheets in. And so yeah, so put my blank sheets in the back of the thing. There we go. Then I'm going to flip back to the beginning of the folder, and I'm going to put September at the front of the month. So here we go. We've got 1 to 31 now showing in the folder under September, because that's where we are. But I'll show you as well, because obviously we're not at the beginning of September. And then I'm going to put 10, 11, 12 at the back as well, so that they're ready to go next. So they're there before we go back to 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope that makes sense. So I've put the ones, the months that have disappeared, I've put them to the back of the folder, and then the ones that are still remaining are still here. Now, what I do is I will literally take out So we are on what day today? 16, no, which day is it? It's the 17th today. It's my cousin's birthday. Yeah, it's the 17th today. I'm going to take out 1 to 16 out, and again I'm going to put that now into October. I'll do that in a moment. And I've got now September the 9th, September the 17th there, and then any contacts that you need to speak to with notes that you've got written on there, you put them in for the day in which you want to speak to them. So if I'm speaking to people today, they're going to go underneath the day of the 17th. Now if I've said to somebody I'm going to get back to them in a week, I'm going to go to the 23rd, and I'm going to pop them into the 23rd, and I'm going to put a time on there as well. So a time that I've said that would be good. And I always say, do you want like morning, afternoon or evening? So I've got a little bit of flexibility there as well. So I'll put AM, PM or eve. And then I put them into that folder, and I'll try and put them into AM chunks, PM chunks and eve chunks as well. So that I can literally go to that page. Then every morning when I come into the office, I'm going to open up my my planner, my follow-up book. Before I've turned on the computer, I'm going to open it up first thing, and I'm going to look about who I need to connect with today, because that then stops you with all of the other distractions, unless you listen to personal development, which I've been doing today. I've been listening to Chalene Johnson, which is awesome. But this keeps you focused. And it's really important, like when you're having conversations with people, that you write down things that are significant to them that you know you can bring back up. So remember, if you've also got them to fill in a Google form, this is awesome, is the fact that you can now, we didn't have that back then. Like when I'm talking about building my business, this was way before social media. Like Facebook had just kicked off. It was like unbelievable. Now with Google Forms, you can literally print out their questionnaire and staple it to their front sheet of their contact sheet. And you can staple it in there. You've got it all together. You don't have to go searching back through all of the books. You don't have to go back through all the Excel spreadsheets you've got going on there. And this has worked for me really well in the past. And I can tell you, my folders used to get absolutely rammed. At one point in our business, we were making, and I'm a big believer in phone calls, you'll know that I think it's really good to actually talk to people. And so, I would have 100 phone calls plus, I would say. And I do them in the morning, I do them in the afternoon, I do them in the evening. And if they didn't answer the phone, I'd just put the date that I rang them, the time that I rang them. If I left a message, I'd do LM. If it was an answer phone and I didn't, I'd just put AP. And then if it was no answer, it was NA. And then I'd just move them to the next day or to the next time that I was going to ring them. So hope that's been of use for you. I know it's worked for me, and I know so many of you have said to me that you actually have no idea you've got no kind of control over your contacts or how to follow up and keep a system in place. But this system's really worked for me in the past, and so this is what I'm going to be implementing now. I don't know why I've tried all the other stuff. It's like you think you have to move forward. We're 21st century, and actually sometimes you don't need to if the wheel isn't broke, don't fix it. And so this has really worked for me in the past, and I hope it's been of use to you as well. So for everyone that's watched this on replay, because I know many of you are off doing stuff yourself at the moment, then let me know if you've watched this in replay. If you are already doing it, or if you've got a system that you want to share, then feel free to share that too. And have an absolutely awesome Monday. See you later, guys.